Brushes. I'm going to go through the different sizes and shapes of brushes that I have. You don't have to have these exact same brushes, but what is really nice to have is separate watercolor brushes. If you paint in acrylic or oils, you want to make sure that you have separate brushes for your watercolor paintings. So all of these I'm going to talk about are easy to find either in a local craft or art store or online. In fact, I have here 2 round brushes. This one was from a local craft store, just cost a few dollars. This one I ordered online, it was a little more than a few dollars, but they both work really well. And the reason they work well is that they both come to a point, which when you're painting in watercolors, it's important. You're going to use the side of the brush for certain things, but it is always nice to make sure you have a nice point on your brushes. These round brushes come in a variety of sizes, and I like to have different sizes. These smaller brushes I use for smaller details, and also, believe it or not, when I'm painting a small painting, I use smaller brushes. Mop brushes are also great to have. They're called mops because they do hold a lot of water, and it's great for making washes. Skies, water, things like that, that's when you're going to use a mop brush. These are some of my favorite brushes. These are called riggers. They got the name for the ability to paint long, thin lines, like the type you'd find on the rigging on a sailboat, and they do just that. This one is obviously very, very tiny. It's great for fine, thin lines like telephone pole wires and branches on trees, and this does the same. This I often use in larger paintings to get those still seemingly very thin lines, but they both work wonderfully. Another shape brush I like to have is one with a squared off top. These both work really well for architectural details. This one in particular I use often for painting windows. And I have another brush that I do use quite often. This has an angle, and this does the same. It's great for architectural details. Even I use this sometimes on tree trunks. And the final brush that I use regularly is called a script brush, and this one is a 0 brush, which is the smallest size, and I use it to sign my name. And all these brushes I keep in an old container. This is an old quinoa container, rice container, yogurt container, a cup, a glass, anything, so you can see all your brushes as you're working and access them easily.